What's going on, my friends? I hope that you are well. First and foremost, thank you guys for watching. And if you are new on here, like and subscribe. As everyone asks, and I'll ask too, like and subscribe. I know there'll be something on here you might want to follow, if it's tiny homes, RV van, or just to hear me rant about whatever. Most of these YouTube channels are doing that anyway. I find myself watching some of these YouTube channels and I wonder, why am I following this channel? Oh, it doesn't take much to entertain us as human beings. Anyway, I hope you guys are well. Update on the tiny home thing. Oh Lord, having to go back and forth between the builder and the engineer on the width of the home, because the engineer has got to have the exact width of what that building should be for the piers and the foundation. It cannot be off on that deal, because when they go to set that home down on those piers, on that foundation, that has to be on, and it has to be on spec, because the building code inspector, it would not be a good day if that failed. I don't know how in the hell that we would be able to fix that, but a couple of inches is one thing, but you know, it cannot be a foot off or it won't fit. So be it that it may, we're figuring that out. They're gonna have to come down about a foot in the width, and I'm okay with that. I said, man, let's just go with it. My engineer called, he was a little concerned. He goes, that's a foot off or two off the house, Chris. I'm like, Steve, I've lived in RVs that are a lot smaller than that, and I love it, and I'm fine. There's no point. This is a tiny home. I'm okay. He says, as long as you're okay with it, I'm okay with it, Steve. I'm okay with it. If he can just give me what he needs that width of the floor joist to be and make it exact, it's got to be, he'll build it to that. I will get new plans. Basically, he's just going to have to change the width and the measurements of it, and then we're going to have to print new plans and go with it. I'm okay if it has to cost me $100 more. I'm willing to. I haven't gotten to that conversation with an engineer, but I'm going to offer to, listen, Steve, will pay you a little bit more to do this, because this is extra work that we did not plan on, and I know you're busy. So my engineer is just the nicest guy, but he's been so willing to help. He had me like talking to a contractor that does all these high-end homes on Kiowa about maybe one of his framers could just frame it on site. It costs more than have these guys do it. With the construction boom that we have here in Charleston, South Carolina, it's like $20 a square foot for a framer. Just to come frame it, put sheathing on the sides and sheathing on the roof. That's not including roofing, shingling, or metal roof, and windows, doors, and the works. You know, he said turnkey. Basically, he's just telling me, well, you can't afford me, you know. For that tiny 563 square feet to frame it, he said, if I do it turnkey, do it start to finish as a contractor, $160,000. I'm like, oh, hell no. No. Hold the phones. That ain't happening. He said, now I know you can get it built way cheaper than that. But he said, if you had some friends, you could frame it, you know. The lumber kit only will cost you about $3,500, $4,000 when you include maybe a little bit more than that. I'd say about $5,000 for everything if you include the siding, the windows, the doors, and then the roof they have put on. But basically, these guys are going to build the house for me. They're going to get that done, bring it in, and they're going to do a 10 by 16 shed for me. It's going to match the house color, be built the same. A package deal we're going to do here, and this is, I kind of had an epiphany. I said, I'll let them do the shed and bring it down. Why not? And it'll look great, and it'll be done so well. It'll be like the garage door type, like, you know, these storage units. If you've stored your stuff in the storage unit lately, you know they have these really strong doors. You ain't getting through them. It's those accordion type garage doors. Very well built buildings. They'll do a 10 by 16, they'll bring it in with it. The package deal, for them to do that and do the building that's done except the inside, the electrical and plumbing, you're talking those two buildings to bring them in and set them down on that foundation, $25,000. That's less than what these guys would have charged me to come frame it and do everything I need to get done, you know, and about, if not, it's the same cost. So the problem we have here And everybody wants to live here on the East Coast in Charleston, South Carolina, and in Florida. If you're trying to buy a house in Florida, good luck on that. It's bad enough here. They say there's a housing crisis in Florida. Yeah, it's so many people want to move there and they can't find a house. You know, there's just none for sale. That's the crisis that they're having. Crazy as it is, you're not going to be able to find guys because they're doing so much work and they're making actually so much money that they're not going to stop and go, oh yeah, buddy of mine and I will come frame it for $3,000 for you for a couple of days. No, they're making $20 a square foot over building these homes in Kiowa on the coast. And you know, he said that he had these framers the other day. They took them 3 or 4 days to do it. They framed a house, 1,200 square foot house, cost him almost $30,000 for them just to frame it. And he had to purchase the lumber package over that. So you were looking at $8,000 to $10,000 worth of a lumber package. Over so $40,000 it cost him to frame in the lumber package just to do that. So that gives you an idea of, you know, you got the cost of lumber, but yet trying to find people that will do it. If I had enough friends I knew how to frame, we'd get together and frame it. We probably could do it easily. They could send the kit to us and we could get it done. Yeah, that would be cool. But I think this is going to be an easier way. This is really what I wanted to do. This is the whole point of this, what I wanted to do. This tiny home. So let's fingers crossed everything. I think we're good. If I get the exact width, it's a done deal. Steve's going to adjust the width and get it done because Steve said, it's up to you, Chris. If that's what you want, I'll do whatever you want to do. Done deal. I just don't want my engineer, because I think he's slowly but surely trying to understand what it is that I'm doing. That's what I think. He's like, that's a small house. I'm like, yes, it's a tiny house. That's the whole point of what we're trying to do. But the thing is it will be a guest house, a guest cottage later if I wanted to build a bigger house in front of it. And that's the cool part about it. I just met with a concrete guy. I got to send him the plans. He's going to price. I don't know what he's going to charge me, but he's a really good guy. He's told me that I don't need a sewage pump. He said, I can pitch this thing. You don't need a sewage pump. You run straight to that sewage line. You're good. You're good, man, on that deal. I think we can do that. He said that I'll run all that for you. We'll get that done. It'd be a tiny extra cost, but we'll dig it. We'll run that pipe up to where it'd be at the front of your to the house there where your footings are. Done deal, because he explained to me they're going a little bit in, the pipe can come just right in front of it, your brick wall. He said, I got a guy, I can brick this thing the other side, $1,200. So when I get the house done, I'm going to make sure he gets the brick straps on the outside and gets that done. When the house is done, I'll get him to bring some people in and we'll brick around the perimeter. Done deal on that deal. That was better cost than I thought it would be. I would go with that. He said, if you provide the brick, the mortar, and the brick mortar and something else, he said. So I'm looking at about, I don't know, $1,600 for everything, $1,800, because it's $500 or $600 for, you know, the brick. We can figure that in due time. But he knows a guy. He can get a couple of people in. He can hang the sheetrock for me real quick. I get the sheetrock and the nails. They'll come in and get it done, and they'll tape and mud it. Step-by-step process. So right now I don't want to put the cart before the horse. We just need to get the specifics done with the builder so they're in agreement, so I can start the process with the town, get that done, the water, and start getting the paperwork for the county. I got to get the concrete guy's information on that to pull that permit. The electrician, I spoke to them. The electrician quoted me around $4,700 for the electrical. That's start to finish, and I started thinking, God, that's high, but if everything he's got to do, he's got to run power to the house, he's got to do all the fixtures, he's got to do the rough out, a few trips back and forth there, as far up as it is from this area. I think fair is fair. I think 47 is about the best running cost I'm going to get. Online, if you look at electrical, they say $5 a square foot. He's charging 10, but $5 a square foot is rough out only. If you figure 10 a square foot, you're looking at about the same cost completing the fixtures and running power to the house and doing everything that needs to be done on that deal. So unless I find a better cost, I'm okay with it. This guy came recommended because he's done a lot of these little buildings. He knew exactly what I was doing. He said, what's the dimensions of your little building? Okay, it's $10 a square foot. I know exactly. He said, I'll provide everything. I don't do specialized lighting, but I can do your ceiling fans if you purchase them. Tell me what kind of lighting. We can do recessed in the ceiling if you want to do that. You know, I'm good with that. So we'll worry about that when the time comes. When I get closer to time, I'll get with him and exactly write out everything I need electrical and map it out when the building comes in, and I'll get with him on that. So other than that, I've just been busy getting a lot of music done. I'm going to be, as I said, starting to work with an editor at CBS. And try to get that guy as much music as I can. It'd be pretty cool. If some of you are maybe new watching here, I write music for film and TV. I spend a lot of time doing that. And I also work part-time as an on-demand courier. I travel a little bit doing that. So it gets me out of the house and going crazy, but it keeps me busy. Basically, I work all the time. That's all I do. That's all I do. And I'm going to have my plate full big time here when we get to start the building of this house. God, I was just out there at the property, and I got to get the lawnmower out there. Here on the coast, some of you may be living in places where it's colder, but the pollen has already started to fall. The cars are green. Grass is starting to turn green, and the trees are popping. So spring is here for us already. And the grass is popping. So, yeah. That's how it rolls down here in the southeast. It comes a little bit earlier for us than it does some people that may live further west or up north. But anyway, thank you guys again for watching. And when anything else cool comes along, you know I'll cut you in. You know I will. And keep you posted. Thanks again. Have a good one. Bye.